Welcome to the family with
Co-host Catherine Brandt.
Hackmaster, Ralph Basham, MD.
And Andy Brant Bernard.
See, we got everybody covered. Everything's good to go. Any breaking news, any big news we should know about to kick things off?
The FDA is going to start putting some more crap in the dairy cows.
Oh,
More crap?
More crap.
Oh,
It's called Bovar or something like that. To
Bovar?
keep them from farting.
to keep cows from
It's not,
farting.
it's not even approved, but they're going to
Bovair
Bovair.
Better
reduces the amount of methane produced by cattle,
Not gonna
suppressing
eat it.
the enzyme that combines hydrogen and carbon dioxide to form methane.
I'm not going to eat it.
I got a question for you.
Oh, they'll eat it. The cows are stupid. The problem
No, I
is,
mean the people should
Oh,
not
yeah,
eat these things, and they should also be tweeting and Facebooking the FDA saying, "Stop doing this junk. Stop it.
yeah,
Don't put crap in our food, please. That's not tested and known to be safe."
I have a question for you. My Aunt Marianne and Uncle Larry had a farm in Long Prairie, Minnesota. It was a dairy farm. I never had the experience of smelling a cow fart in my life.
You know, you got to remember the United States of America, North America, was covered by buffalo
Yep,
and other herds of many, many things, right? Running around,
right.
tons, before people, like the American Indians were here, Native Americans. Why didn't we have problems then?
Well, that's what I'd like
There
to
were
know.
probably more animals roaming around farting back then than there are now.
I don't know that they had the enzyme or had the bacteria. It may not have been endemic
Yeah, it's hard
in
to
those
say.
animals. I
Yeah.
I
don't
still
know.
don't believe this science. I don't believe it. I think it's crap.
You're not buying it,
Anything
man.
Bill Gates is involved in, I want nothing to do with.
That's very true.
He's not a scientist. He's not a doctor. He's just a very wealthy megalomaniac that's telling everybody what to do and how to do it. And I have no interest in it.
So he's
None
behind this
whatsoever.
Bovar.
is
He
he?
has been. Yes, because he's the one that's behind the fake meat.
Yep.
He doesn't want cows. He doesn't want dairy.
Wants to make more money.
On fake meat. Yeah.
Not going to do it.
No, that's not working out so well. The fake meat
No.
place in Wayzata closed down. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, the fake
that's
meat is not working out.
No.
It's not very good, and number, it's very highly processed and full of garbage. And I mean, if you're trying to eat healthy, that's not your good thing.
Very true. All right, I'm going to run down a list of things and see if you guys can guess what they are. Ready?
so start with Bovar.
No, it does not start with Bovar. If you're a Disney adult with a gambling problem, these two top picks make a whole lot of sense. WalletHub.com ranked the most fun cities in America. They based it on 65 different metrics, including how many bars, restaurants, and festivals there are. They even factored in how far you have to travel to get to your closest bowling alley or frozen yogurt shop. Any guesses on who or what these cities might, not who they might be, but what these cities might be?
It's just going to be another one of those like San Francisco, New York City, Seattle,
Miami.
Boston.
Yeah.
no, fun cities. So Madison, Wisconsin. Yeah, there are a lot of bars there. Lots of
There are
bars.
a lot of bars there.
Heavy,
Chicago,
heavy on the
That is
bars.
true.
Miami for
filled.
sure. I
That's the
think.
thing about bars, though. It's like, do you need more than one? It's pretty much all the same, isn't it?
Yeah, because you stay at one, and the bartender knows how many drinks you've had, so you've got to go to another one.
Nice.
So
You gotta
that
hop.
they don't cut you off. That's how.
Why don't you just drink at home if you're that hard up to get drunk?
Because a lot of people are social drunks.
Yes, they are. Here is your list of the 10, starting with number 10, New York. I don't know if that's a fun city anymore. It used to be when we lived there, but not anymore,
Maybe if you live in certain wealthy areas that don't have
I
all
guess.
the garbage. Yeah.
Number 9 is Houston, Texas. I didn't see that coming.
So
No,
humid and icky.
Humid.
It's so humid. I
It's
think it's the
humid?
most humid
Is
city
Houston-
in America. I
Really?
think.
When I think
Yeah.
Texas, I think dry.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is on the water by Galveston.
I don't know. I don't know anything about
sounds true.
Texas.
No, my aunt used to live there, and it was just
Oh.
hot and humid.
Indeed. Number 8 is Chicago. I'd have to agree with that
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Michigan Avenue was wonderful. I don't know about now. Again, people don't go downtown much anymore, do they?
Well, that's a
I
good
think-
question. Haven't been
I
there
think
for a while.
I think for stuff.
Yeah, probably for
For
stuff.
stuff they do.
Number 7 is San Francisco. We used to love going to San Francisco, although Andy almost missed the monorail one time, and I had to grab him and pull him on board. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, San Francisco, I wouldn't go in there. So pooping on the streets. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
that all dries out and blows around. No, thank you.
It's true. Number 6 is Austin, Texas. That is a nice town.
Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense.
Now we're getting into the big ones. Number 5 is New Orleans.
Yeah.
Once again, do not wander off the main street, however, in New Orleans.
Unless you're with 100 people.
Exactly. Number 4 is Atlanta.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Miami,
Yeah.
as Catherine
I knew
thought.
Miami would be in there.
Number 2 is Orlando, another place. 2 out of 3 places are in Florida.
Yeah, Orlando has grown like crazy.
It has, no
Well, it's
question.
the Disney World city, basically.
Yep. Number 1 is easy. You guys all already named the most fun city in America.
Milwaukee.
Juneau.
Yeah, Milwaukee. That's exactly. I like Milwaukee. That's a good town. Las
Bangor.
Vegas.
Las
Las-
Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be Las Vegas.
There it is. Las
Las
Vegas.
Vegas is the first place I saw a fully naked man jerking off
Oh,
in public.
great.
First time.
It wasn't me, by the way, so
No,
don't
it's
get any
not.
ideas in your
I
noggin.
just couldn't even believe it. We're like, I was just like, what am I seeing? Then I used to see
seeing
it across
drug
the lake
addiction.
from our house in Golden Valley.
Oh, yeah,
it
all
just
the
is a
time.
thing people do now.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, the 5 cheapest cities for fun are
None of those.
Madison.
Cheapest.
Gotta
don't-
be on there.
no, I don't think any of these are in the top 10 fun
no.
cities. The 5 cheapest cities for fun. Number 5 is Oklahoma City. Never spent any time there. I don't
Can
know.
see that, yeah.
Number 4 is Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Okay.
Huh.
Number
been.
3, Montgomery, Alabama. I've never been in any of these towns, so I don't know.
I guess we need to start hitting up some small towns.
Number 2 is Wichita, but the cheapest city in America to have fun is Toledo, Ohio.
Oh,
Never
so
been.
Toledo.
I've never been in any of the 5 of these places.
Nor have I. And I live near Toledo. So
So there
I've
you
only
go.
been to Ohio twice, and that was to Columbus,
Oh yeah, Columbus. Yeah, that makes sense.
which
Toledo,
didn't
Ohio.
seem like a nice town.
Toledo, Ohio, the 10 most fun cities and the 10 cheapest cities to have fun in. So that's all we ever do is deliver. That's all I'm saying.
Deliver on the promise.
Deliver on the promise. That's exactly what we do
land.
on this show. No question about it. But yeah, I suppose well, it's pretty hard to deny that the number 1 fun city in America would be Las Vegas because it has something for everyone.
Depends on your definition of fun.
Well, gambling, you got a lot of shows you can go
Tons of
to.
shows, great
lot of food,
restaurants,
hookers,
great
food.
restaurants.
Drugs, legal
Yeah.
drugs now.
Whacking off on the street,
There you go. Public self-abuse.
anything you
public
want to do, you
self-abuse.
can do it there.
That'd be a real thrill, no question about it.
I mean, really, there is a vast number of things you can do there. Great weather year-round, golf. I mean, just
Yep.
a lot of
Hiking's
stuff.
great. Yep.
Oh, I used to love going to Las Vegas, no question about it. Now this, I think, is interesting. I brought this up on the morning show, and I don't want to cover the story. People think 2025 looks ominous because the calendar starts with WTF, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Get it? WTF.
Oh, man.
Boy. So some second grader pointed that
Yeah,
out to
seriously.
somebody who posted
Well,
that, and
Our
now it's
preteen
a
boy.
thing.
You know why that is, though? The last time there was a WTF to kick off the year was 2020 when COVID kicked.
Yeah, 2020 was not a great year.
COVID
Nope.
was a man-made.
Yes, it was. There's
Yeah,
no
it sure
question
was.
about that. And they love to lie about why. How is that Itai not in prison?
Fauci?
Fauci.
Because
I should be in
people
prison.
like I have a brother who said the only person he has ever trusted ever about any information about COVID is Dr. Fauci.
He helped develop it.
You know,
okay,
I
whatever.
don't know what to think. I mean, if you look at Fauci, you're either looking at the savior of the AIDS crisis or
Right.
the person behind all the deaths of the AIDS crisis.
Yep.
Depending on how you're looking at the development of, he had some sort of vaccine or not a vaccine. He had something, a treatment that was not good. and he was behind that.
Yeah.
But of course, they didn't really know about the virus, so people are like, well, at least he tried. But there's people that are just like, he's just doing all this stuff for money.
Money.
We don't know.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know which side of Fauci is the real side. I mean, because there's a lot of evidence on one side and the other. So I don't know what to think. But I think it's time for him to retire and go away.
Yeah, no question. Well, he's spending how much a month again, Andy? Would you look it up? His security detail per month is a huge amount of money the American taxpayers are paying.
Yep.
His security detail per month is huge.
It sure is.
What do you got,
Currently,
Andrew?
it has the cumulative total so far has been 15 million.
$15 million.
You know.
Well, those RoboCops are expensive to produce.
Yeah, it's probably RoboCops. You're probably right. Okay, there's one more list I want to go through because I want you to guess what have been the best TV shows of 2024. Well, you wouldn't be guessing, you'd be voting, actually.
I don't know if I've watched any of them.
You
My
haven't
vote's
watched
for
any?
Ghosts.
What's that?
Ghosts. It's the only one we watch.
But that
Oh,
came out
yeah.
in like 2022, didn't
So
it?
this
watched
is
Ghosts.
debuts in 2020.
Well, no, that's true. It could be Ghosts. Okay, you can go with Ghosts because
I
the
go
best
with-
TV.
I go with Fallout.
Fallout's a good
Really?
show too.
Yeah.
Well,
Huh.
that was
Yeah, I
good.
thought that was pretty well done. Pretty well.
Anna?
That good, huh?
Oh, boy. I don't know. There's a lot of good shows.
Best TV show of 2024.
I hate this best of favorite stuff because I don't
All right,
really.
we'll move on.
I know. I
then.
feel the same way. And Melissa's always like, "You got to have a favorite." She's
I
like,
don't
"Oh,
ever
what's your
have a
favorite
favorite.
movie?" I'm like, "I don't have a favorite movie.
Nor do I.
Oh,
The Godfather.
exactly. That
Yeah,
could- yeah.
Nor do I.
I am not a favorite kind of guy. There's there's games out there where I'll play them, once every year. But then sometimes I'll go 10 years without playing that game because it's just like, I don't know. Or like the idea of watching a movie more than once every 3 years to me is just weird.
Or every
Yeah.
year.
A lot of people,
Some people do, yeah.
Every year.
We watch Twister every year in the summer when it's tornado season.
Do you
because
really?
that's,
Kind of understand
Melissa's
some
favorite movie.
Christmas movies, like
well, Christmas movies, yeah, that's more like of a habit than anything.
Yeah.
I suppose that is true. I do love that movie you just mentioned because two people saved themselves by the guy taking his belt off and tying it to a 1-inch pipe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how is that going to keep you safe?
Pipe looks
Just
like it goes
lucky, I
pretty deep.
guess.
Yeah, it must be really, really a heavy pipe is all I've got to say. But,
It was actually I like that movie. I mean, it was dumb,
well, it was
but
fun to
it was
watch.
still,
Yeah.
it was well done. I thought.
Okay, so here are the best shows of 2024. Oh my God, there are 20 of them. John Mulaney presents Everybody's in L.A. That's a stand-up comedy one, so that shouldn't even count. I don't understand. Okay, Matlock is number 19. That's the
Matlock.
new one with a woman.
Oh,
a woman
that's
is
new
Matlock's a woman now.
I was gonna say,
Oh, Ms. Matlock.
1924. You mean?
Yeah, exactly. Girls 5 Eva instead of 4 Eva. It'd be 5 Eva. I never even heard of it.
Great.
That sounds a little adultish.
Okay, the first one that I've watched, and I do think it's really, really good, is Lioness on Paramount.
Yeah, Lioness is good.
That's a good, tough women on that thing.
We
I have
got-
heard from what's it?
We've got to interject. Kostaki's going to have an
Oh.
opinion on some of these.
Yes, Kostaki, you want to vote on the best TV shows of 2024? Andy talked me into
Some of them
1924.
I've never heard of.
I'm a big fan of Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
But no, not you.
I like Thursday Night Football.
Sunday night football.
I like Sunday Night Football.
Oh, the
Friday
football.
I like
special
the 4
football?
o'clock. Yeah, I like the Black Friday football. I like Thanksgiving football.
Do you not watch a lot of TV?
I really don't. I was watching you guys talk about this. My last show that I was really engaged with was Succession,
Oh, yeah,
That was a good show.
which is
Yeah,
weird
very
because there's no one likable on the show at all. And
No,
I,
No.
nobody.
I
That's the
couldn't
new
stop
thing.
watching it.
I think that's the new thing, though. So many shows, there's no one likable.
That's been a thing since Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
That's the show that I think started that whole trend. Is
Yeah,
just
you
like
can't-
everyone on the show sucks.
Yeah, you
I
can't
feel
root for
yeah.
anybody.
For me, I feel like the beginning was that movie with I'm never gonna get this right. There's a movie where I suck at names. Never mind.
Too. I know.
Never mind.
I'm always like, the person with
The
the
thing with
mustache
the
and the
thing.
weird ears.
Come
and
on,
then
you know
Tom
the
knows.
thing. Yeah, that's exactly where I am right now.
Okay, well-
And there was a sitcom with Ted Danson where he was an unlikable doctor. That was another one that was kind of early on in this arc of like the main character is someone that's deplorable. It's such
Becker?
an interesting concept. Yes.
Yeah,
What was it called?
Becker. I remember.
Becker,
I remember
okay.
Becker. Yeah, that was 1998 to 2004.
He's got a new show now.
Ted Dance. Oh yeah, he's always got a new show.
Yeah, he does. That's
Curb
very
Your
true.
Enthusiasm. No one was likable.
He was on
really.
The Good Place. We
Good
like that
Place.
one.
But that one's like a cartoonish comedy.
It
It's
is, but-
the squirminess is likable because you could see yourself in the situation of like, oh, you just feel the social awkwardness at all points.
But they're all jerks to each other. It's like,
Yeah,
why are you
that's
even
true.
friends? I don't understand. why.
Right? Yeah, you're right.
I would not have any of you as friends.
You're right. It's weird. I feel like a likable character is part of the glue, and I feel like some of the new things don't have that at all.
So there really has been a transition from all likable characters like Friends,
Yeah.
and like what was the one in the bar?
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers.
to all dislikable people
It is.
Yep.
It's
in a bar
interesting.
and live together.
Well, it's
kind of
like House, one of my favorite shows, and I generally do not like shows where everyone's a jerk. But I really like House. But that was like
Great
we watched
show.
it again earlier this year. We went through the series, and at the end of it, it's like, how insane are they going to make him just to drive home the point that he
Yeah.
is a sucky person?
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go through the next 5 very quickly, or next 6, actually. The Bear, I've never seen. Agatha,
Oh, I did.
you like it?
It's very good, but it's also, once again, everybody is got a problem. Like, oh, sorry, my computer just died.
And they're in a hurry.
I will turn off your-
It's very anxiety inducing.
Right.
Oh, The Bear is?
Yes.
I've seen one episode, didn't care for it. Number 15, I've never even heard of Agatha All Along, but that's on Disney Plus, so I suppose that would make sense.
Yeah, isn't that Marvel? I think it's Marvel.
That could be.
I don't know. No one
Number
here
4
cares about Marvel, so why am I
Number
asking?
14, The Traders on Peacock, never even heard of it.
I'll go get a plug-in.
Number 13 is going to be tough on Andy because the number 13 show is Colin from Accounts.
Colin?
So your son's already got a TV show. Mm-hmm. There you go. Number 12, Somebody Somewhere. Never heard of it.
Nope.
Number 11, well, X-Men 97. I suppose that's for kids anyway, isn't it?
It's for millennials. It's
For millennials, okay.
It's right there in the name, 97. It's a reboot of the 1997, I think. Cartoon.
It is. Yeah,
And
it is.
yeah, I don't know. I was too young for it, I think.
Okay, number 10 is Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Never even heard of that one either. I haven't been watching a lot of TV, apparently, because I've never heard of most of these shows.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith was a movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it about
was,
like two assassins or something like that?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Number 9's Abbott Elementary. Loved it the first couple of seasons, and then we stopped watching it. I don't know.
Went
It was okay.
off cliff.
Number 8 is Nobody Wants This. Never heard of that either.
Oh, that's good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty. I mean, it's predictable. Kristen Bell
Oh, I like her.
is in it. Somebody else. I'm like Kostaki. I don't know.
The lady with the thing.
It's good. It's more of a definitely, I think, for women. But
Okay. Then you got Shrinking. We like that one. That was pretty good. Right, or is pretty good. We haven't watched it in a while,
I
though.
don't remember Shrinking.
Yeah, you do. It's with what's his name?
See,
I can't remember who was in it, but he was really good.
Perfect.
Number 6, The English Teacher. Never heard of that one either. I never ever heard of most of these shows on Disney and you know,
we don't watch a lot
whatever.
of Disney unless the kids are around.
That's true.
I've heard of The English
And-
Patient.
Yeah, English Patient.
But only
Okay,
because-
top 5 shows. You ready? Hacks was number 5. Catherine and I thought it was terrible.
Hacks.
Remember that?
Hacks.
Wow, Mom's
What's her name?
no,
The blonde
I
woman?
don't
Woman.
remember it.
Yeah, you know the blonde woman. We like the woman in it, but
Oh yeah,
the show's
okay.
just not very good.
Yeah, that's
Number 4, Industry. Never heard of. I've never heard of these shows
Industry.
on HBO.
It
I
is
don't watch a lot of
about
HBO either.
industry. It's about young bankers and traders, 2008 et cetera, et
No
cetera.
wonder. No wonder.
Yawn.
Okay, the top three I have not seen yet. Oh, number three's Baby Reindeer. We lasted about halfway through that. I thought it
Baby
sucked.
reindeer.
It was terrible.
Is it about a baby reindeer?
It's about a guy. It's a true story, I guess, about a guy that meets a woman at a bar or something, and
Yeah, she's psycho.
she's a psychopath.
And yeah.
I guess it's
My-
a true story.
My older kid and ex-wife loved that. They loved that whole
Some
thing.
people did. Some people do
I
love.
watched
Just love it.
I watched an episode with my kid just to get a taste for what it was. I see the appeal of it because it is a true story.
Right.
It's basically a woman who is completely glomming on to the guy and he doesn't
Right.
know how to deal with it. And he lets it slide for too long and it gets out of hand.
Yep, that's what I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, number two is never heard of this one either. Anne Rice's Interview with a Vampire.
Oh,
You've
isn't
heard of that.
old?
There was a book, but I've
Isn't
never
that-
heard of the TV
And a
show.
movie, I'm pretty sure.
I thought
Oh,
that
was
was
it?
old. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking of the book because the book's been around for a long time.
Well, yeah. And also, it was originally called Interview with the Vampire. One of those fun facts. 1976 novel. So, yeah, it's not new,
No.
but apparently it's a TV show now. Why not?
Okay, for the number one favorite TV show, I'm going to pretend I'm my mother. Okay, you ready?
Matlock.
Nope, Dean Martin. The Dean Martin Show. She thought that was the greatest thing ever on
I wish
television.
we could
Brought him back
bring-
with AI.
Yes.
Wish we could bring back a Dean Martin.
Oh,
Oh,
they
God,
will.
yeah.
We
I
haven't had
guarantee you.
anybody with that cool factor in a long time.
The number one favorite show in America is Shogun. We lasted about halfway through that and I thought it was boring as hell.
You have to care a lot about Japan, I think, to care about Shogun.
I suppose, yeah. It was
Yeah,
okay.
There's a
It
lot
just-
of subtitles.
Yeah, a lot of subtitles.
Oh,
it was
did
all
they?
right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know.
It was okay. Yeah. So best TV shows at 20. No wonder you and I don't watch a lot of TV shows anymore. If this is what you
You
got.
watch a ton of TV shows. Are you kidding me?
No, I don't.
You're like, oh, yeah, we watched that and we gave that a try and we checked.
Well,
this
we
one
do
out.
try to check stuff out, like new and latest and greatest on Netflix or something. We try to watch it just so we can talk about it. But a lot of times we don't last very. We watch 3 episodes and we're like forgettable. So
Indeed. Okay, I'll take one more minute because we got to get Kostaki on here talking about this football season, which is getting better for the Vikings every week.
Yeah.
But I realized last night a mistake I made when I was 23 years old. Greg Lundeen, who was one of my best friends at St. Anne's, known the guy for a year, loved the guy, had a younger sister. And I asked her out to dinner and a movie. Okay. And I thought it'd be kind of cool. We went to, can't remember the name of the Italian place down on 19th and Hennepin, right there by, I can't remember.
Mario's.
I don't remember the name. It doesn't matter. It was really good. So I took her to an Italian dinner and to a movie. And I thought, it'd be kind of cool because it's got to be kind of quirky and all the rest of it. It's Christmas time and all the rest of it. Took her to see the movie Black Christmas. The original from 50 years ago. I did not know that the first 99% of the dialogue either had the male version of the C word or the female version of the C word. I'm like,
It was kind of surprising that 50 years ago that they were
that foul.
that foul.
I mean,
yeah.
they would not stop all these just horrible, horrible, filthy words. And the great thing about it is I remember taking her home to the house. She was still living with her parents. I dropped her off, and she never talked to me again. Yeah,
Like, this guy's a perv.
she probably thought I was insane.
Yeah,
But what are you going to do? That's such is life.
yeah, 50 years ago. I don't know. I don't remember that kind of language on
Oh,
things.
God, no. I had no idea I was
Maybe
going to do
there
that.
was. I just don't remember it.
All right, time to turn it over to that big C, and that would be Kostaki.
I have 2 quick movie things as transitional
Love it.
pieces here.
Love it.
Okay.
When my dad passed away, I was just like, I was so close with him and I was just a mess for a week. And my girlfriend at the time was like, let's just get out of the house to go see a movie. And we went to see, we didn't know what it was. It was a movie called Life as a House.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And it's basically a father and son building a house together before the
Great.
dad dies.
Oh God! So that's what you went to.
Did you cry all the way through?
It was just weeping from beginning to end.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, this is a tough draw.
No.
And I looked up the other movie, which to me is the beginning of the unlikable character arc in American
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
cinema. It's As Good as It Gets, with Jack Nicholson is a misanthropic, bigoted, obsessive, compulsive novelist.
Okay.
Helen Hunt, single mother with a chronically ill son, and Greg Kinnear as a gay artist.
Oh God! Unbelievable.
It's weird because he's so unlikable, and yet at least by the end he at least morphs and changes, and there's some warmth to him. He has a relationship with the dog that's sweet, but with most of the movie he's just this terrible guy.
Yep. I actually have a story very similar to your Life as a House one.
You do?
Yes, I do. So 2021, this movie comes out called The Starling with Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
And Melissa's like, hey, you know, this looks good. Let's watch this one. So Melissa is like deeply pregnant at this point.
Deeply?
Like a couple months away from giving birth at most.
Deeply pregnant.
So we're watching The Starling, and it wasn't terribly long into the movie that we realized that the A plot was that this couple, so the dad is like in a mental institution, and the woman is living by herself and obsessing over this like injured starling. And the reason both of these people are in this position is because their like 8-month-old child had just died.
Ah, yes.
Oh God!
We're like inches away from the delivery room, and we're watching this movie about a baby dying.
Yeah, not good.
We're like, maybe this wasn't the best time to watch this movie.
No.
It's terrible. But what would be a better handoff to Kostaki than this?
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, the joy that we've brought to the world.
Well, it is true that when they do the ultimate ratings at the end of the season, like 94 out of the top 100 things are football games. It is true.
Yep.
Really?
The ratings for football in America are astounding. They blow away all of the things. There's usually like the Academy Awards, and there's like a couple of things that aren't football in the top 100, but there ain't much. It's a monster.
Internationally too. I mean that spread. Mexico loves football, I guess.
Right. I'm just talking to. I went to Cosm this week to see the night game. It's like this planetarium meets IMAX kind of place, and it's such a cool way to see football. And there was an Australian next to us, and he was just a tourist, and he heard about Cosm and wanted to go, and he fell in love with the Bears, like, in 1984, and has been a Bears fan ever since.
Bears of all teams.
I know, right? It was like, oh, tough draw. You had 2 good years. But some of these things are way more global than we think they are. It's kind of cool. That part I like. Thanksgiving week, by the way, is when you remember why you hate your cousins. Kirk Cousins threw 4 interceptions this week.
4 interceptions. Yep.
He did throw a touchdown. Unfortunately, it was to the Chargers, not the team he plays for. Coach said he has no doubt Cousins will bounce back. Put me down for some doubt. I have some doubt at this point.
Kostaki, has he ever been any good? Ever?
You know what it is? We knew this coming in as Falcons fans. He's sometimes great.
Yep.
And
saw
that, but there's a big swing with him, right? Mm-hmm. Which for a Falcons fan was such a huge upgrade over where we were that we were thrilled to have him. But it doesn't seem like he's the path to the Super Bowl. He's the 13th best quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
17th, somewhere in there.
I'm not going to get you too far.
Well, I mean, he's gotten us further than we've been the last 3 years, so I got to give him credit for that. He's coming off a tough injury and everything else, and he's likable. He's like this pious, earnest, hardworking dude.
Yeah.
But this game was bad. Oof. So I don't know. We'll see. There's definitely going to be calls to play the backup now. They picked a a rookie, Michael Penix, with the 8th overall
All
pick,
right. Yeah.
who was picked ahead of Bo Nix, who's crushing it this year. So there'll be some pressure that way. We'll see. Sunday night, we had a great snow game. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see some of that. Bills and Niners. It was awesome. We did some of these jokes last week, but I can't help myself. I have to do more. That game was so white. It went to a TED Talk. It was white.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It lobbied for a capital gains tax cut. See, this game was white. It thinks Kendrick Lamar is a law firm. It was super white. It knows the names of all of Jeff Dunham's puppets. That's
Oh God, that is white.
Can
That's
anyone
very
name
white.
one of them except for Stucky?
Nope.
Is it
No.
Peanut? Peanut's one, right?
Oh, you don't even know any of them?
I don't know. Walter, is Walter the old guy?
I don't know.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
worked
that
with
sounds
Jeff
familiar.
Dunham. I should know this, and I don't.
Okay, can I just tell you one thing about Jeff Dunham? True story. We were doing a show in Vegas many years ago at KQ, and we had Jeff Dunham on the show. Incredibly arrogant human being.
Right.
Oh my God, is he arrogant?
Yes, yeah, you feel it in the room.
Hey.
Yeah.
So he's
I mean,
a
I probably
puppet
would
guy.
be
He's
too
got
if
a
I-
lot.
Yeah. If I was making $100 million to go like this, I'd probably be arrogant.
It's true.
Hey,
think
start a
you've,
YouTube channel.
I think you fully described the art form there. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a hand puppet. You use your hand, make it talk. There you go.
Yep.
I took him to radio one time, and I was a new comic. I was hosting the show that week. I was brand new. It was one of my first multi-night gigs ever. And I drove him to the radio, and I wasn't trying to be an asshole. You know, this is a legit question. I go, so why do you bring the puppets to the radio? Oh, he was furious.
Yeah.
It helps the
Same-
DJs understand, you know, like
Oh, God,
You gotta
settle
stay in
down.
character. It's a method acting.
doing ventriloquism on the radio is hilarious.
Doesn't really work, does
Yeah,
it?
on radio, he could have just done this. Nobody would have been any the
Well,
wiser.
that's how I've always felt about, like, you know, the 90s raunchy radio shows where they'll have like a hooker in studio.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
it's
right. Yeah.
radio, so it's like, we got this hot girl over here. Just trust us. She's super hot.
Right.
I mean, all of Howard
Great.
Stern's shows for
Yeah.
10 years.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much.
That's
But
right.
people loved it. I don't know. I guess visual, you don't need the site. You just need the
Theater of the
descriptor.
mind.
Jeff Dunham. Yeah, he's done all right for himself. He's fine.
Yeah, he sure has.
He's on a private jet somewhere right now.
Oh, boy.
Jesus.
Who are we to judge?
Yeah, I know. Before the Buffalo game, they said Buffalo's expecting 3 feet of snow, to which Rex Ryan responded, did somebody say feet?
God. You want to explain that one to most listeners?
Well, he's kind of known for having a foot fetish, and he's weirdly
Yes.
public about it.
Yeah.
But Rex Ryan, 3 feet is the only thing better than 2 feet. So, you know, it's good news.
You know, that's a good joke.
3 feet. It's good.
Well, it
Yeah.
depends on where the third foot's growing out of. Yeah. Is there a third leg, or is it like on your chest or
Is it
something?
a different person? What's happening? Bills quarterback Josh Allen got engaged this week. So his girlfriend got a ring before he did.
Oh, that's cold.
That's tough. We had some more injury news. I had this car nut friend when I was younger, and he was restoring an old MG, and he bought a second one largely to use for parts. Christian McCaffrey has a little brother who's not as fantasy relevant. How are his knees and Achilles? That's all I'm asking. Can we farm some of the parts? And if you're a Bears fan, you had a very rocky Thanksgiving day. Oh my. Okay, let's go over this. The end of this game, the Bears were down by 3 points. There were 32 seconds left. They're in field goal range. It's third down. They have one timeout. Somehow they didn't call a timeout at all. They squandered all of the time, and they threw an interception on what ended up being the final play.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Beavis and Butthead wasted less time than the Bears. It was such a weird use of the clock. Salvador Dali got a commission, everybody. Hey, come on. The clock, it was weird.
Was it melting?
I saw better game management in Tiger King. Huh? Big game management.
Not good.
Coach at Matt Eberflus. He's like a family pet. He's likable. He means well. And he has no understanding of the passage of time.
Correct.
But he got fired over this, among other things. Now he has a lot of time to kill. I think he's going to be good at it. No one's more qualified. I think at this point, the Bears should handle this the way they do like some small towns with their mayors. They just have a donkey be in charge, like make the dog the mayor, like whatever. The Bears haven't decided if they're going to use a search firm. I'm like, a search firm? You could use an Alzheimer's test. Just show the candidate a picture of a clock and ask him what time it is.
You have to draw the clock.
Right. Is that it? Is that the
Yep,
test?
that is the test.
That's all right.
Not to crap all over your joke. Or
No, I'm interested because I'm trying. I remembered I had a window into this with my aunt, and I forgot how it works.
Yeah, no, they'll be like, draw a clock that says it's 3:15.
Oh, so you give them the time and they draw the clock?
Yep, and then they have to draw the whole thing from memory. And some people will draw like the numbers outside of the clock, or the hands will be like they're
Right. There
hands.
must be some
It's
like
weird.
standard telltale signs, right?
Well, wait a second. What about digital clock? What if you just wrote down a digital clock? Because how many
it has to be-
kids really know
Yeah.
about a clock?
We're gonna have to
How
change
many
this
kids
test
have
for the
Alzheimer's?
next range of Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right.
Draw a clock that says 3:15. They just write the word 3:15 on a piece of paper. Okay, there you go.
That's how
I
my
was-
clock worked.
I
Yeah.
was actually looking up some stuff about dementia the other day because of a diagnosis that a friend of mine has, and when you have Parkinson's, apparently, you are more likely to get Parkinson's with dementia if you are a person with a penis.
Okay.
That's how they frame it.
That's how it framed it. I'm like, so my comment, they were like, try to make this site better. I'm like, so if I have a rubber penis in my pocket, am I more likely to get Parkinson's
It's
with
like a Jack the Ripper
dementia?
kind of situation. You're
Hope not.
holding them.
What if
How does this actually work?
what if I'm just holding my husband's penis? Does that count?
I think you're
Parkinson's.
probably more at risk. I mean, what a dumb.
Or people who have transitioned. No,
Yeah, exactly. It's like chromosomes
Yeah.
matter in
They do.
diagnostic medicine.
When it comes
I'm
to medicine,
sorry.
that's what
What if you-
primarily matters.
What if you want a penis?
Exactly.
What if you
daydream?
want a penis?
I
bring
just
up
thought that
penis.
was the most absurd thing I've seen. In
That
a
is
long time.
absurd. We need to
Yeah.
get over some of the
We sure do.
Yeah.
PC-ness, and especially on the medical front.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, long shot to stay with the Jets, and you know how much he hates shots. The Jets officially have their 9th consecutive losing season. One more, they get a free Subway sandwich.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
They're so bad, they're defying the law of averages, or as Aaron Rodgers calls it, the unproven theory of averages.
God.
He's a skeptic.
No, not Aaron Rodgers. Is there anybody to him more important than Aaron Rodgers on this?
Oh
planet?
no, definitely not.
Definitely not.
That he is.
Is
40,
he?
I think, isn't he?
He's only 40.
I ended up looking this up for a thing I was doing. He's the oldest active player in the NFL, 40 years old.
Wow,
Yep.
because he
Wow.
is really.
He just turned 41 yesterday.
Yesterday's 41
yesterday?
now.
Yeah,
Happy
they showed
birthday, Aaron Rodgers.
they showed some highlights of him, playing the other day, and I was like, man, he looks rough now. But I suppose being in the NFL, getting
Oh God, yeah.
the crap kicked out of you all the
Yeah.
time might.
Oh, the stress
Might
of
be an
being
ager.
a losing quarterback in New York City. Jesus, that's got
how
to
old
be
was Tom Brady when he finished?
Old.
43.
Was he?
Okay.
Take.
Is
Something
that
like
it?
that, yeah.
Was
You
Tom
tell me,
Brady.
Andy.
He was 45.
Lightning
When he
fingers.
finished playing?
Yeah, when he ended his career.
45? Really?
Yeah, but he's a crazy outlier.
That's true.
That's
There's always
true.
going to be those weird outliers.
Did you hear his contract that he has with the NFL now as an announcer?
No,
Oh, it's a big number. Yeah.
10 years, $370 million.
good to be Tom Brady.
Sure. I'm the wrong Tommy B. Damn it.
Yeah. Right.
That's all I have to say.
It's an enormous
Yeah,
amount of
that's
money.
funny. And he's part owner of the Raiders now, which has implications for his job as a journalist.
Journalist, yeah.
Seahawks, Leonard Williams got a 92-yard pick six, the longest ever touchdown returned by a player weighing more than 300 pounds.
Oh,
Who tracks this stuff?
That's a very niche stat.
That's an interesting stat, right?
Was it a slow-mo camera shot?
He actually looked fast in the replay. I was like, that is a big guy.
Yeah, that may have squirted out of AI.
Yeah.
Actually, that's
Yeah, that sounds like something, an AI would come up with.
Usually to move 310 pounds, 92 yards, you got to hire some union guys.
Mhm.
Yeah. At least have
Ooh.
a hand
Gotta have a hand
crunch.
truck.
In this case. Trevor Lawrence knocked out of the game, ugly hit by Texans linebacker, who the fans then pelted with cups of beer. Do you know how much they hate you when they throw their stadium beer at you?
I saw that.
I know, it's like
That's-
$20 right there.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
a $15 FU each beer.
Yeah. Yep.
Might as well throw gold bars at them.
Jags are now 2-10. Oh, I hope this injury doesn't hurt their playoffs.
2-10.
Are they like contractually obligated to keep playing?
Yes.
Because
And in
once
fact,
you get 2-10, why just hang it up?
there's all this weird underlying tension. The commissioner will always reach out and try to make
Right.
sure that these crummy teams still try to be competitive in the games.
But why? Why watch? I guess is my question.
Well, that's the thing. It's an interesting setup because the players and coaches are all playing for their jobs, and they know if they
Right.
put bad stuff on tape, it hurts
Mhm.
them professionally. So none of the players and coaches are in an active effort to tank. But the general manager and the owner can definitely put in the young quarterback and see what we've got, all those kind of things. So there's definitely tanking to be done sort of, behind the scenes. But it is an interesting conflict because
Yeah.
none of the other active people that we're watching on the field are tanking at all. They might not put 100% effort in. They might try mostly to avoid injuries, but
there you go. That's what.
they
Why not
might
just-
go, my knee really isn't great today. You might get some of that.
Why not make it interesting for the people that bet on sports and handicap them?
Oh, yeah,
You know,
just start
they
doing
come in
weird
with 20
stuff.
points.
Yeah, exactly.
See if they can win.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation, especially since you're incentivized to, once you don't make the playoffs, you're incentivized to lose the rest of the games and get a higher draft pick, especially for teams, that need a quarterback like the Jets. Looks like they're going to need one. We'll see.
Yep.
In this game, I saw at Cosm, Tua is now 0-8 in games where the temperature is under 45 degrees.
Ooh.
He's worse in the cold than George Costanza's penis.
Drink
My
it.
God, there's an old reference right there.
I was in the pool.
I was in the pool.
It's an old reference, but you hear it basically every week for some reason.
That was very,
It's
that was-
very much entered into.
Yep.
It's had a lot more staying power than No Soup for You. That's for sure.
that was a
That's true.
funny
God, it was a great show.
show.
That's
Except
a
for
great
Seinfeld. He's the only part of it wasn't funny.
He was funny, but accidentally.
Accidentally, yes.
He wasn't a great actor. We've been watching
No.
Scrubs, and the main character JD, he's not a good actor, but it somehow works. It's the same thing with Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes you don't. It's almost like the last sane man in the room kind of situation.
It's always great to criticize a guy who became a billionaire with his talent.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's doing all right too.
Jeff Dunham, Seinfeld, bunch of losers. Not funny at all.
There you go. Yes.
That was a memorable week for me. It was the week after the Oklahoma City bombing in Oklahoma City.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Very memorable.
And one day I went with the middle act and I walked over to the site and there was a black church out there singing and you could see all the wires dangling in this
Yeah.
broken building. It
Oh, yeah,
was
it
so
vaporized
haunting.
half the building. It was
It was
crazy.
it was really haunting to
Yeah.
be there. And I was in Atlanta I was working the punchline for the Olympic bombing.
Good God.
Maybe
a
they
lot of
should
pressure.
Keep track of where you are.
I also told jokes in Nashville on 9/12.
Oh,
Oh, God. That must
That
have
was
been
a tough
fun.
That was a tough show.
Yeah, I bet.
I remember at about 6 p.m. I walked into the club and I was kind of prowling the stage trying to figure out, what to say and what to do and how to handle it. And the manager came in and she goes, you can't talk about it. You're not going to talk about it, right? I go, well, I can't not talk about it.
Yeah.
She goes, you can't talk about it.
Wow.
Oh, well.
Don't
are-
think of a pink elephant situation.
Yeah, there's a delicate dance. So that's what I was trying to figure out.
Yeah.
What I remember Jeff Dunham doing, which was interesting, he said a few things about what had happened and said, we're not minimizing any of that. We just need to break from it, and we're going to put that on a shelf, and we're going to have a hell of a comedy show.
Yeah. That's all you can
Which I
do.
thought was an interesting way to do it.
Yeah.
And another way to do it, which I discovered in that 9/12 situation, is to joke about the peripheral things, the nature of the coverage, the fact that there was a senator who had a scandal going on at the time, and he's like the only guy who's happy about
Yeah.
9/11.
Right.
Yeah.
That just disappeared into the
Right.
ether, so I ended up talking about the peripheral stuff. So it's tricky. It's a tricky subject,
Sure.
I understand.
but you can't say
completely.
nothing, which is what the
No.
manager wanted me to say.
Yeah, I think ignoring it would make people angry.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it?
it can.
Yeah.
Or it feels the whole show is a false note
Uh-huh.
somehow.
You come up on stage. Anything interesting happened lately?
Yeah,
folks?
yeah.
I'm not aware of
Yeah.
anything.
Exactly. Unbelievable.
Well, it's good to talk to you guys.
Always a pleasure. We only got a couple of shows before, 3 shows before Christmas now.
Yep.
That's it.
Is that right? Yeah, yeah.
Well, Christmas Eve is 3 weeks from today.
Your team's good, Tom. Enjoy it. Well, it's
Yeah.
lasts.
I am
Well, it
enjoying it. There's no
lasts.
question.
Okay.
Well, that's a good way to put
When
it.
do the playoffs start?
First week in January, I think.
Yeah, so we've got
Mm-hmm.
this is week 14 coming up, and then there's 15, 16, 17, 18, then playoffs.
All
There's
right.
17 games per team, but there's a bye for everybody, so there's
So
an
it's like-
18-week season.
Middle of January then? Would that
Right.
be about right?
Fantasy playoffs start next week. I know that's what you're asking.
Yes, that's exactly right.
We got to
want
get you into
money.
fantasy football, Andy. You'd be perfect.
Yes,
He would.
I think
He'd
that's
love it.
true.
Picking people based on the funniest name.
It could be the worst thing to ever happen to you because you would start to give a shit about football.
Very true.
All these stats.
Very, very true.
I need a tight end, Kostaki. Help me out. I want to have that conversation at some point.
There you go. With Andy. Talking to Andy about football.
That would be great.
All right, thanks,
Pally.
guys. I'll talk to you soon.
next week.
Bye.
Thanks. Kostaki Economopoulos, ladies and gentlemen. I love working with him. He's always, I mean, how many years has it been now? It's been just wonderful.
Since basically the beginning, I think.
Yeah.
So 13, 14 years.
Yeah, I remember
12 and a half, yeah.
12
remember
and a
when I
half.
was doing the booking for the show, you were like, get Kostaki on here.
Oh, just a great guy, no question. Ralphie, any headlines you want to talk about? Anything
Boy.
coming up?
Boy, not much. Hey, I just got back. Well, we just got back from Guadeloupe.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
It was nice. It was nice. I did not come back obnoxiously tan the way some people. But yeah, it was nice. Nice weather, of course. Very, very, very French island. So French, just.
Oh, really?
So
Oh,
French.
yeah. Did they say there were 8 or 9 direct flights from Paris? Not daily, but 3 or 4 times a week,
Wow.
and another 6 flights from Montreal. So really, just so French.
Is the official language French
Oh
there?
yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
official. You're at and we say it with the Club Med there, and they spoke French. They spoke French, and if if you spoke English, too bad.
Oh, yeah?
You'd have to ask
Oh,
Too
okay.
bad.
to speak in English to understand
Ah.
some things.
Are you conversant in French?
No, I'm not
No?
conversant, but I can understand a little bit. I can ask any
Just
question,
enough?
but
Yeah.
I just
Oui, that's it.
once they start running it together, and
Je voudrais.
Pomme de terre.
that's right. So,
Pomme de terre. Yeah, that's a good one. That's really tough, man.
but they don't use that term.
They don't?
No, it's a pomme pate. So if you want
Huh.
mashed potatoes, pomme pat. So it's bizarre. And then there's the colloquialisms that
Yeah.
Yeah.
they show in. So
Well-
if someone tells you good day, or you say good day to someone, well, in Paris they'll say au vous aussi, but there they say de même, which is the same. It's the same to you. It's just a fascinating kind of place.
When
Duck, duck, go, duck.
Yeah.
I went to Paris with Alex, and we went to a restaurant that you had recommended. It had, I don't remember where it was. It was kind of outside of the city center there, and there were some Montreal guys sitting
Yeah.
next to us, and then we were speaking, and they were trying to talk to the waiters in French, and the French waiters were like, "Sorry, we just
Yeah.
don't understand your accent at all. Can we agree to speak in English?" And I was like, "What?"
But the
I like
best
that
French
call.
is spoken by Canadian French.
Yeah.
Is the most
Oh, is that right?
consistent, the least amount of English
Huh.
words in there.
No long words.
In France, they use the word t-shirt,
Yeah.
and is that malheur? Boy, there's a different word. What's the word for the yellow shirt in Tour de France? Malheur or some such thing like that. So it's a different word that they use. So once again, there's my French failing me. But they-
Japanese is very much like that with the loan words.
Uh-huh.
Half the words in Japanese are just English.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Really?
Well, they have a
Yeah, t-shirt,
society.
shuts.
They have a chamber of French words in France.
Yes, they do.
Where if you say computer, they don't want it to sound like they don't want it to be computer. They have to make up a French name for everything. They don't want the English
Japanese
to be.
computer.
No, the
Really?
same thing. Well, same thing in Canada. They will substitute a French phrase for an
Yep.
English word.
Yep.
Yep,
there.
they
And
don't
that's-
want
that's-
it
So it's
bleeding
pure
in.
French.
I remember Tino Lettieri's mom, who was
yeah.
Italian and spoke, obviously
French.
Italian. Yeah.
And French.
Well, when she moved to Montreal.
Yes, yeah.
And she's like, yeah, the way that they speak French is just not very good. They put "puh" on everything.
Oh, they do?
Puh.
Yeah. Well, the same thing. You go to the south of France and Marseille. The language is different. They have a little on the end of so many
Well,
things, and
just-
Oh, really?
and
Just
then
look
you
at-
go into Paris and they say, well, no, what'd you say? What'd you say? Oh, no, that's not how you say it. It's a fascinating language and
Wow.
culture.
It's pretty interesting just driving across America.
Yeah.
because
Oh, true, exactly.
you get down past that Mason-Dixon line,
Oh,
and you're
God.
like,
Yep.
my God, you
What are
stop
you
for
saying?
gas, and people are talking to you. You have no idea what they're even
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
It's
just-
just
Consider like Boston versus Mississippi accents.
Yeah, oh,
They're
God.
basically different languages.
Yep.
And
Even
it's
in-
the same country. It's only like, what, 4 states apart? But
Yep. Even in Minnesota, you go
Oh,
to the Iron
absolutely.
Range.
You
Or,
go up
you know,
north,
it's
yep.
just like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what? Yeah, I don't know.
it's true.
We were watching something the other day, and it was a bunch of New Yorkers speaking, and it's like, where did that accent actually come from? Because it doesn't sound
Oh, yeah,
Spanish.
you were
It doesn't
talking about
sound
that, yeah.
English.
No, it's
What
it's
is it?
interesting, isn't it?
Why do they have that particular accent?
Oh, do you remember when we went to Costco and we bought that little grill?
Yeah.
And the guy was telling us, so it was like this like little tabletop grill thing. Like you
Yep.
wouldn't put
The
it on the
pellet
ground
grill.
because it's a tiny pellet grill. It's maybe 2 feet tall.
Yep.
And he was talking and he was saying, okay, so now you got this, you're going to need a grill cot. And we're like, a grill cot? What the hell is it? Grill cot? And he's like, yeah, you need a grill cot. And I'm like, okay, I'll
cart.
find one of those. I'm Googling it. I'm Google grill cot and I'm not finding anything. And it was like 2 days later. I'm like, oh, grill cart.
It's grill cart. You grill
He
cart.
had like a Boston accent and he was saying grill cot when he
Yep.
meant grill cart.
Yeah, and they stick R's at the end of things like Parker.
Washington?
Parka. A parka.
Is a
the coat
Parker,
is a
yeah.
Parker.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do
it's
stuff like
weird.
that.
All right. Any closing words?
Closing words.
Bundle
we
up
didn't
tomorrow.
have Tim, where did he go?
No, I sent him the invite and I didn't get a text from him. Must be extra busy.
What are you
Okay.
going to do?
All right. Well, what are you gonna
oh,
do?
you-
No, Jude's like,
Jude,
come on, man.
Come on, the show's over. What are you doing?
Let's go.
All right. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Got a picture in my pocket reminds me of this one was before. Every time I hear the singing reminds me how you talking